Woohoo! It's exciting. It says I'm live. It says I'm live. Right, so we need to do here now. We need to put the holding screen on. We need to take this headset off and put the other headset on. Still keep the microphone on. Hold on a minute. Where's the sound in that video? You know what? This is what happens. Hold on. Let me just go straight to the damn. You know what? That is so frustrating. I've got a really cool. Why is that not playing? You know what? Who cares? We're here now. We are here. Oh, we are here now. That's better. You know something? I started work at 6 o'clock this morning. Still very tired from it. Oh, there we go. Mic is in the right place. Why did that intro not play sound? Does anybody know? Does anybody know? No? Okay. Right. I'm going to try and play it again because that's going to annoy me. You're going to have to bear with me because I like that opening. Okay, hold on. Let's just push this button and oh, hang on. Do you know what we're going to do? Hold on. Yeah, we're going to do that. This is what happens when you change everything and it just doesn't want to work. Hold on. Intro. That's fine. I'm going to keep on this just now. But I hear there it is. I know why. Right. Good. Right. Good. Right. Let's start again. Let's go back here. Haha. Teething problems. Absolute teething problems. Okay. Let's start again. Take number 34. space for you. Notes. We're coming to the end of the intro. Good evening, Scotland. Good evening, social media land. I hope you are well. Welcome to that Indy show. It is Thursday, the 1st of December, 2022. We are recording tonight's live, are we? No, we're not. Damn it. But we are now. Teething problems. We are recording tonight's live broadcast for the security and integrity of the message and the ability to upload and share via other platforms. I don't think it'll be taken down, but if it is taken down for any reason tonight, we'll just go across back to TikTok in the TikTok boxes and we shall moan about it there. I don't have any moderators on YouTube yet, but I do have Nightbot, which is pretty cool. Pretty cool. Apparently, when it comes on to certain words and things, I've managed to filter out things like nippy. So, I don't know if it's working. Somebody type in the word nippy for me, please, and we'll see. No, don't actually. Please don't, because you won't be able to chat for about 600 seconds then. Okay? Crazy. Did the music wake up the wee ones? Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, right. So it feels a bit more roomy here in YouTube, doesn't it? It's like, let's bring the chat window up. It kind of feels roomy. I can stretch a bit more here. It's pretty cool. I can monitor. I can do so much more here. You know that? I can do so much more. And I'm quite excited to be here. Ooh, Mo in 4K. Ryan, is that not scary? Me in 4K. And some people don't have accounts, YouTube accounts, so they don't have names. I can see Ryan, Beth, John, Kareem. I saw Druss as well. Donald's here. But there's some people as well that just have like little numbers and things. You're happy to test? No. Okay, you can try. Let's give it 5 minutes, because Nightbot takes 5 minutes to wake up. That's like the bot that will moderate the language that is said here. And then I'm going to add more words in it, like I'll add in the word Ryan. So basically anybody called Ryan gets moderated straight away and stuff. Only joking, Ryan. What's wrong with the N word? I just put that in for a laugh. I wanted to see, because we get people using the nippy word quite frequently, Ryan. Now, the other thing with this is that there is a minute's delay between me speaking and you hearing. Okay? So when you sort of like chat, there might be a bit of a delay for me responding. Okay? Which is good. You promise you won't swear. I don't have swear words filtered out yet, Druss, but that'll come. I only put it on. I don't even know if it works, you know. But it's a bit more roomy here just now. There's a little bit more room to. Actually, Ryan said I was in 4K. I've never seen myself in 4K before. I don't think my iPad does 4K, but do you know what we're going to do? Oh, hang on. We are going to put the volume down. We're going to go to, what the hell? Oh yeah, and you know something? I can swear more easily as well if I want to on here, but so you might get the occasional rant that is, what's it called? Oh, for God's sake. My sound not working home. Alright, okay. That'll be why. The occasional rant where I drop an F-bomb in or something. Right, there we go, live. Okay, so that's what I look like on an iPad. Yeah, that's looking quite good, isn't it? Looks okay, doesn't it? Oh, you can't see it there. Oh, see? We need to be in the middle of the camera space because I've got bits out of focus there. I think I could watch myself all day. Anyway, we are not here to talk about YouTube, okay? Is this bot provided by YouTube, Kareem? No, it's a whole different thing. It's you just go to nightbot.com and then you sign up by signing into the account you want it to sit on. So I just signed into my YouTube account, but it was a friend of mine on. Is he here? Can't see. What's that? Looks like the blur effect. Yeah, I don't think I need the blur effect when I'm here on this. So we will get rid of the blur effect tomorrow for tomorrow's one. Tomorrow's Friday. Yeah, so for tomorrow's one, we'll get rid of the blur effect for tomorrow. Okay. Okay, I think I have flexed enough, okay, to be comfortable in my new environment. You can hear me clearly, I hope. Hold on, let's just see what I sound like on this. Hold it a second. For tomorrow. Okay. Okay. That sounds okay. That sounds okay. Right. Alrighty. I need to take. What do I say? Does it have it there? No, we need to go to this camera. Okay, we need to go to this camera just now because we are going to have a little look at that poll. You know, has anybody seen the poll? Have you seen the poll? Right. Okay, I'll bring up the poll. Check this poll. Right. So what we've got here. Right. This is the latest Scottish independence poll. I wanted to briefly talk about this before we go on and do the things that I want to cover tonight. Okay. So this is done by Redfield and Wilton Strategies, and it's a poll that was done between the 26th and 27th of November. Now, a lot of people don't put their faith in polls and things, but they're a good snapshot in time of how people are feeling. And I think that's quite important for some people, especially in the independence movement, because you have to remember, if it was a crappy poll, it would be all over the media. Like, oh, look at that. SNP bad, independence bad, your polls are rubbish. Blah. But this hasn't been, I mean, you can find it, and it was all over Twitter, and it was in the National and stuff, right on the front page, which was great. So this shows that 49% people would vote yes, 45% of people would vote no, and 5% don't know. It's not over 50% at all. However, okay, if you take away the don't knows, you get 52% yes and 48% no in the ratio. Now, if that is mathematically incorrect from anybody that is good at working those things out, please blame my son for not doing well at calculating 45 minutes ago, right? Because my brain was fried and I thought, like, son, you need to work this out for me. Take away the don't knows and what are the percentages. Okay, so that's what they would be, which is quite cool. Now, let's have a look at the age demographic for this. And this is quite cool. So 16 to 24 year olds, 64% would vote yes. 25 to 34 year olds, 61%. 35 to 44 is 55%. 45 to 54 is 51. And 55 to 64 is 53. The older people, again, I'm not suggesting when I say this that all old people are unionists. My mum certainly isn't. She's in her 70s, and many people on TikTok, when I posted this later last night, basically said, no, my mum is in her 60s and 70s and things like that, and it would all be cool. You like Poles, they're very nice people. Of course they are, Ryan. My granddad was a Polish person. They're awesome people. But this is great because you've got there, out of 6 demographic groups, they're all sitting comfortably over 50%, and 2 of them are, wow, pretty chilled in the 60s. You know, so this is something that I find quite good about this. What else? The next little image on this. Okay, so another question in the poll was whether and when a second referendum should take place. So 46% would support a referendum on Scottish independence being held in the next year. You know, that's pretty good compared to the polls that were saying, no, now's not the time. Remember all those polls that went around saying, no, we don't want one in the next 4 years, or one within the next 4 years, yes. But it was a bare minimum for the polls to say that would be within a year. Now we've got 46%, which is up 12 points. While 43% down 7 would oppose, and 9% would neither support nor oppose this prospect. The next little part here is, this was a really interesting question. This is the last little picture, then you get back to seeing me in 4K, Ryan, so get ready, put your glasses on, don't want to frighten you. This is, if an independence referendum were to be held in Scotland within the next 6 months, who do you think would win? 43% said the yes side would win, 39% said the no side would win. And again, when you take away the don't knows, 18% of don't knows, there's a 48-52 split. Okay, it's just the way the ratio worked. I questioned that. I did. When my son did it, are you sure? And he goes, no, Dad, the ratios are the same. I was impressed. So if anybody wants to check my son's working, I will put it up later on. Okay, let's get back and bring the chat window up. So what do you think of that then? I know it's just a poll, and some people, look at it and go, it's just a snapshot in time. It doesn't mean anything. But I think it does. I think that it just shows a shift in the sort of paradigm of independence. We're kind of looking at just a different thing. Is it a reaction to last Wednesday? Yeah, it probably is. Absolutely. Could it be a solid foundation to move on? I think probably so. I really do. Anyway, it's quite exciting to talk about it. I think that it's got an awful lot. Why remove the don't knows? I don't understand either side does that. That's a good question, Scott. I think that it's just to show, let's take out the people that don't want to make a decision or don't know what to make a decision about, and see what it would look like without them. I think that's really all what it is, And the don't knows, I read that as don't knows with the K in my head when I read it, so I don't pick up people for spelling and things. Well, listen, we have 16 people in YouTube. That's the most people I've ever had. That's really cool. I'm just a tiny little streamer on TikTok and a tiny little part of YouTube as well. So let me straight up thank you, everybody who's come across from YouTube and anybody else that's joined us here from any other platforms that I've spammed this live on. I do lives on a Monday, Tuesday, Thursday and Friday, and occasionally jump into other people's lives on different things. But I'm going to be probably doing more here on YouTube compared to TikTok, because it's I can do more here, a lot more. I can do a lot more, like, let me just get ready, push the right button. Why have I not got the right button up? This one. Boom.
My name's Robert, and I have a question for you. Are you yes yet?
Okay, so I can do this in the chat as well here. Boom. All right, so that there was Robert. Okay, Robert was a firm no voter in 2014, and he was also he's now a converted to yes voter. Now that link that I have put here into the chat there just now, that is the actual story of Robert going from no to yes. I sat down and talked to him. I did an interview for about 45 minutes. And you know what? It's a really good tool to use for anybody that may or may not know whether they're going to be yes or no, or might be no and thinking about yes. Okay? Because it covers probably most of the sort of feelings that people have about being no and going to yes, or not knowing what to do. It's quite an emotional journey that he took on it, and it covers everything from how he felt before the referendum, how he felt after Brexit, the royal family, right up to the present day today. So yeah, it's kind of impressive. So I highly recommend using that if you know anybody who is a no that's thinking about yes, just to help them realise that their feelings are perfectly natural, that they are feeling. Right, so before we get to the substance of this evening, I want to go through a little reminder of what happened last Wednesday. Let me get my notes and bring them across to this screen because that's easier. It makes me look as though I'm looking into the camera. Okay, it's important that we acknowledge what happened last Wednesday, and I will go back and reiterate this whole story quite frequently, because what on earth is that? Does anybody hear that whistling sound? That's just my son going into the toilet. Oh my god, that was really loud. Didn't think I'd hear it through these. Right, so let's go through the story of kind of what happened last Wednesday, just to remind ourselves why we're in the position that we're currently in. Okay, the Scottish Government asked the Supreme Court to rule if Scotland could legislate for a purely advisory referendum on independence. The verdict they returned was a direct interpretation of the Scotland Act 1998, with a few colourful caveats that to some may have come across a little undemocratic and patronising. The verdict, this verdict has not been delivered. My notes are rubbish. This verdict has not been delivered, and it's not the end of the independence story in the way many believed it would have been. In fact, the verdict has clearly shown us with its ruling that there is no legal method for Scotland to follow to be able to question should Scotland be an independent nation. Well, there is one, but it means asking permission to do so from another member of this union. What this verdict does demonstrate now, though, on legal papers and legal rulings, is that this is clearly not a union of equals, or even a voluntary union. The UK government lawyers did not want this ruling at all, so much so that they petitioned the Supreme Court to throw out the case. They knew if the Supreme Court ruled in favour of Scotland, it would set a precedent to the other devolved nations to be able to hold referendums as they please on constitutional matters. And if they ruled to uphold the Scotland Act 1998, then it would lift the veil of obfuscation and lies of the union being that of equality and voluntary. So from now on, every time you hear equality or voluntary used to describe Scotland's place in this union, you should question it. And you should understand that every penny that is sent south to the Treasury that is generated within Scotland is now, in my opinion, imperial piracy. And finally, to all those that feel that toxic comments are an appropriate way to engage with the Scottish brothers and sisters regarding the verdict, your comments show far more about you than they actually demean us, and you could probably do with growing up a little. It's a big old deal, and it's very important that we never forget where this place is, Scotland in the eyes of the elected officials in England. England's elected officials do not have to ask permission from Wales, from Northern Ireland or Scotland. If they want to revisit their relationship with the Union, with these three nations, they don't have to ask us. They don't have to have permission. Okay? Ireland has a caveat in the Good Friday Agreement, whereas they can actually hold a reunification referendum every 7 years if they see fit to do so. Scotland has to obtain a Section 30 and Wales has to, I think it's a Section 30 or something similar. I don't know exactly what Wales has to do. But that is the way that it is for that. Crazy. The Saltire is also on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and TikTok. You will find the links to follow us on all of them at www.thesaltire.scot/media. Okay, so, excuse me, let's have a quick look at the old chatty poos there. Ryan's asking there, am I going to be covered in Blackford? Yes, I am. Is it an implosion though? Will it affect people's points of view? Or will it galvanise us to do something else? Who knows? Maybe we should run another poll about that. I don't see it as an implosion though, mate. After reading lots of different articles, but we'll come on to that. That's pretty much at the end of everything tonight. Right, so, people know me from being across on TikTok and hanging out with people like Kathleen and James and Craig. Where is my video? There we go. That's the one we're looking for. And we all kind of like work together to deliver a message in our own little ways and doing different things. If you watched Craig's videos, and his latest 3 videos are all about English independence, and he did a live as well about English independence. In fact, you know what? I've got one of his videos here. It's about 3 minutes long. It's worth watching. So yeah, let's give it a watch.
Why do I support an independence referendum for England? Here we go. So in the week that's passed since the UK Supreme Court made its ruling on a second Scottish independence referendum, I have had an influx of viewers from people in England on my TikTok live streams and in the comments section of my videos. And they've told me all sorts of things in that last week, such as England owns Scotland, England subsidises Scotland, the English taxpayer subsidise our public services in Scotland, they would want a vote on a Scottish referendum, they want their say. And I've come to a realisation in that time that actually, they're really right, they're quite correct, and they do deserve a say. Now, Scotland had a once in a generation vote on the continuation of the UK Union back in 2014. But the people of England have never been allowed to make the same choice. Supposedly, this is a union of equals, an equal partnership. The Kingdom of Great Britain was founded and formed by the Kingdom of England and the Kingdom of Scotland. So why is it that only the people in Scotland, with a population of 5 million people, held the balance of power in 2014 on whether or not the UK Union continued? Why have the people of England, with a population of 53 million, been denied and deprived of the same opportunity to make the same choice? Surely if it's a union of equals, people in both countries should be entitled to an equal say. English independence would allow the people of England to take back control. England is the only constituent country in the UK without a devolved parliament. Wales, Scotland and Northern Ireland all have devolution and their own parliaments. But England doesn't. That doesn't seem fair. Despite having 86% of English MPs in the Westminster Parliament, 533 seats out of 650, the English people don't really have a voice in this union. They don't influence UK-wide matters because those MPs in Westminster represent all 4 parts of the UK, not just England. And anyway, how is it independent to leave the EU but stay part of the UK? Why is it fair that the English taxpayer subsidises the public services in Scotland, Wales and Northern Ireland? Why is it fair that Scotland benefits from free prescriptions and free tuition fees and free care for the elderly and free bus passes for the over 60, while the people of England don't? Why is it fair that people that come from Scotland but live in England now didn't get a say in 2014? An English independence referendum would give them a chance to have a say too. There are democratic reasons for English independence, there are economic reasons for English independence, but they can also regain their sense of national identity and remove this Britishness that's been imposed on them and regain the term English. And they can take back control of the internal borders of the UK.
Right, so if you are new to here and you want to go and follow Craig, that is his TikTok right there, Independent Scotland. Okay, go to TikTok and go and find him. Okay, brilliant. Now, what I really liked about that was his deadpan sincerity. Do you think that he's been sincere about that? Well, yeah, in some ways, because it's kind of poking the English bear, saying, hey, why are you guys not fighting for your own independence? And the other night he did a live with this as well. This live, he agreed openly, and it came across as parody to me, and it very sincere as well, to the British nationalists. Why he kept on asking, why are you not like independent? Why are you still shackled to Scotland? Why are you subsidising Scotland? You know, there was over 200 people in his live that night, and it was like a crazy tsunami of like Anglo-British nationalists baying for their independence. Yeah, why aren't we independent? When we're independent, we're going to come up there and we're going to take your water. We're going to have your oil. You guys are, subsidy junkies. It was all these horrible, toxic comments. And he was like, yeah, come up and take our water. We don't deserve it. You guys have been subsidizing all our stuff for years. Yeah. But some people started to understand what was going on here, this intense reverse psychology with people. I thought this was incredible. I've never seen anything like it before. Every time that Craig was insulted by things, he just deflected it by agreeing with them and playing Scotland down, and they were lapping it up. There was like ridiculous comments made, quite offensive comments as well, to be perfectly honest. But some people did start to, think, wait a minute, no, we're actually going to be, I think we'd be better together. And these are the people that understand that we don't subsidise England. England does not subsidise us. It's the truth of the matter. But that's it. Now, understand straight up, if you're watching this and you think that I'm being anti-English, I am so not anti-English. My dad is English, and I love that man. Why wouldn't I love that man? He's a proper East End Cockney guy from Bethnal Green, so I've got no reason to hate the English. I've got every reason to really dislike the Union with everything. That's just my feelings. If most of the people here know exactly how I feel about it all. And there was a massive element of what Beth just said there just now, of reverse psychology. And it's a great tool for you guys as well, to be able to just, if people start going, well, England subsidises Scotland. Well, yeah, okay. Subsidises Scotland. Why aren't you guys independent then? We can't afford it. He says, yeah, but if it's a Scottish unionist, maybe England should be independent. We can't do anything. We can't even qualify for a World Cup. There was a friend of mine at work today that said, I've got a new way of actually dealing with situations like that. And it was like, he actually says that we shouldn't have a national football team because we're not a country anymore. The reaction that he's had from that is priceless. And people are like, what? Of course we should have a football team. Well, yeah, obviously, but we're not a country. We're not a country in the eyes of the law anymore. We're like a northern region of Great Britain. We don't have a democratic process to be able to revisit our relationship with the Union. And it's totally weird. That's totally weird, man. It's weird. Anyway, that was the Craig's video about that. And I think that it's something, worth, if you don't follow Craig and you don't follow Kathleen and you don't follow James on TikTok, go and do it, please, because it really, really is worthwhile doing. And it's something that I strongly recommend.
The Saltire has a growing Discord community. It is the perfect place to rub shoulders with other indie folk like yourself. If you want to be part of this community, send Mo a DM on his Twitter account @TheSaltireIG.
John's just said something very interesting there. It will be interesting to see how a Scottish Unionist tries to stop the armada of English that would support English independence. Really interesting. Donald Cameron, so what is in the frame for leadership? I think what we're going to come on to that right at the very end. I've got another video to play. It's James's one, but I don't know. I think that 1 3-minute video is long enough for one show, and I'll play James's one tomorrow night, which is pretty cool. But we do have, yes, let me do this. I need to change things over here, and then we need to go to, is it this one? I hope so. No,
The Saltire is also on YouTube.
I need to find where is the button for the papers. Where is it gone? Is that better? Yay! Why was my mic not on? How weird was that? Okay. I need to get the post-it notes at the bottom of my screen again that says, make sure your mic is on, you donut. Okay. Right, so we were wanting to talk a bit about Ian Blackford, and I kind of brought that up. Let me just move my chat over here so I can still see what you guys are saying. Is that better? Yes, you should be able to hear me now. Yay! Good. Right. So Ian Blackford has resigned. He has jumped before he was pushed, and it looks like Stephen Flynn has the majority of the backing for taking over the leadership. Now, so they're going to do some sort of conference here or meeting with the Westminster wing of the party, and if Stephen Flynn's unchallenged, there's not another MP that comes forward for it, there won't be a vote. He will just move forward into the leadership position. He's not rubbish. He's pretty articulate and pretty good, actually, to be perfectly honest. And at the end of the day, he's not going to be a bad guy. He's young. He's quite dynamic with things. Whether he lasts the test of time, don't know. The question I keep asking myself is, should our MPs actually be down in Westminster? Part of me says no, get them back up here, run away from that toxic hellhole that they like to call like a government house. It's just awful. But the representation that they do down there, I feel, is not just for Scotland. They actually are probably a stronger opposition than Labour are with some of the questions that they ask. Maybe not all of them, but certainly some of it. Don't let Alan Brown do it. I would love to have seen Mary do it. She would have been mental for it all. Which is crazy. Right, so Ian Blackford jumped before he was pushed to leave the SNP. Westminster leader party insiders have told The National. So this morning he did resign, and Stephen Flynn from Aberdeen South is hotly tipped to be the next in line. Rumours emerged a couple of weeks ago that Flynn was gunning for the top Westminster job and trying to oust Blackford, but the claims were immediately quashed when Flynn denied them. The National understands that Flynn has a backing of about 30 out of the 44 SNP MPs. And apparently as well, when we go down, some of the reasons for it, where is it? They were talking about, where is it at the bottom here? Hold on. The disquiet within the group reportedly stems from Blackford's handling of the Patrick Grady scandal, where MPs were encouraged to support the Glasgow North East MP despite the Parliament, despite him groping a junior staffer. Yeah, you know something? I kind of agree with that. I think that if you get caught doing something like that, I mean, what happened to Patrick Grady? You know, did he resign? Did he lose the whip? Did he come back? I can't remember. But in my opinion, he should have gone. I think, you know, we should hold the managers of civilization to a much higher level of accountability, because they are managing our lives and governing everything that we're put on. But you know, Blackford was forced to apologise after a recording of him telling MPs to offer Grady as much support as possible was leaked to the press. I was a bit disappointed with Ian Blackford. I'm surprised he's actually lasted that long. I don't dislike the man. I think he's articulate and educated. I think he is a proper rural MP. I think he's great. Is it from Skye that he's from, isn't it? I don't dislike him. I think he made a mistake, and I think this is basically the bottom end of that mistake from it all. But that's kind of where it is from there. So is the SNP imploding on this? Nah, not at all. It's a leadership shuffle. The same way, it's nowhere near as the implosion over the past sort of 8 months of the Conservative Party in the greatest of respects for it all. But that's kind of where I feel it all stands from it all. And back to there. Amazing. Okay, so yeah, that kind of covers that little bit. Let's see what's being said in the chit chat. Are we all being nice to each other? So Kareem, he resigned basically before he was pushed. I think he was going to be asked to step down anyway. You know, TBA Blue, genuine question. Do we put any substance credence in the National? I don't really rate it given its ownership. Do you know what? I don't put credence in any newspaper these days at all. That it's not the same as it was in the 1960s and 70s. I don't remember the 60s. I wasn't born, but I remember the 70s. I remember when there was any political scandal, they would really hold the government to account. They don't do that. I only brought up the National because it seemed to be, out of all the articles I read about it, it seemed to be the most balanced. And sort of like there was like even the Guardian, who's usually quite balanced, was quite like horrible about the whole thing. There was, I mean, really, really, really negative and very negative towards the SNP as a result of it. And I might be a card-carrying member of the SNP. I'm not a zealot by any means or forms. But I find it's not really productive to say that. Whereas the article in there we go. Let me just put this down a little bit. There we go. That's better. I found that the article in the National was like it covered all the spots. It covered the thing about the scandal with Ian Blackford. It covered who they think's going to be taken over, and all the sort of like overlapping circles that is all about it. But that's kind of where it is. But the papers are all garbage, aren't they? And always a variation of a theme. I mean, I usually go through the papers in a live, and we can do that. And you know what? We're not going to do the affirmations tonight because I'm halfway through making a video about the affirmations, and I want to keep that there. Unless you want me to do that. Do you want me to go through the affirmations? I'll happily go through that. Yeah, Scottish Socialist Voice is a good paper. I've looked at it, and I'm quite a sort of like a soft socialist as it is. Is it? You know, it's got kind of things which I agree with and some extreme things that I might not agree with. Socialist worker as well. But at the end of the day, you know, when it comes to newspapers, they're there just to inform and make money, really, aren't they? Just like anything else. Was it not a dodgy claim through and was withdrawn completely? And not that Blackford's attitude at the time. I don't know. I think that if there's any scandal to be had with Ian Blackford, it'll come to light anyway. You can't hide really things, you know, in that anymore. And certainly because he's an SNP MP, it will be all over the papers. Headline news: SNP bad. Ian Blackford is the whole attitude of the SNP. In fact, as a reflection, it sees the whole attitude of Scottish independence. You know, that is how it works. Yeah, right. So what we're going to do now is, first of all, I'm going to quickly test something with you because I don't know why this doesn't work. Okay, can you hear the crickets playing? No, I cannot hear the crickets playing at all. Hold on. Hold on. See, I can hear them through my microphone. But if I go like this, no crickets. That's a shame. I need to figure out why that is. Because there's a sound effect that I play for this video.
If Scotland leaves the UK, we lose roughly a third of the landmass of Great Britain, probably around half of our territorial waters. We lose the magnificent resource that is Scottish fishing waters. We lose the opportunities from North Sea oil and gas. We lose the potential for renewable energy from Scotland's coasts and in the North Sea and the Atlantic. We lose access to barrier-free trade for Scotch whisky and Scotch salmon, all these fantastic exports, the opportunity to study at some of the world's greatest universities in Scotland, and the joy of having Scots as part of the British nation. Why would you want to throw that away?
That is another great video, excuse me, that you guys can use to throw out there and allow people to digest the things that the union would lose, that in reflection the elected officials of England would lose as a result of independence. They like to think that we don't have anything, but Murdo Fraser, in a wonderful television show or internet show, was asked the question, what would the union lose if Scotland became independent? And the man answered the question without a second thought. He had just rolled off the tongue, everything like that, and I couldn't resist making a cheap-ass video about it as quickly as possible to get it out there. And it is on my Twitter account, one of my Twitter accounts, the one that is yes_Scots. So if you go to Twitter and go to @yes_Scots, you will find that right at the very top of my account. It's the pinned one, and I think it's now just over 20,000 views for that, which is amazing, which means 20,000 people have looked at it, whether it be 5 or 10 seconds. I mean, it's only, 50 seconds long. Doesn't matter. It's a great tool, and I recommend anybody to go and grab it and share it. And if you do want to download it and then tag Murdo in it. He has blocked me on every one of my Twitters because I called him out. It was a hobby of mine during the summer. Let's troll Murdo Fraser. He didn't like it. I'm naughty, very naughty. Okay, so shall we have a look at the papers? Let's see, how do I bring them up again? It's been ages since we've done the papers. We need to bring them up this way. So I can see first. Let's get that window over there. See, I've got too many windows open to be able to do all these things. So I need to organize myself because I cut down the whole stream on TikTok. I did similar streams to this, but I cut them all down and took away all the crazy stuff that I do here with the jingles and everything, simply because I thought it might have been me with copyright issues. Turns out it's not, funnily enough. But I cut it all down completely. And having it cut down means I've kind of lost my professional knack of having the right buttons on my Elgato Stream Deck here just now. And I'm there we go. That's the papers. This is the one we want. This is the one here. Yay! Paper screen. Amazing. Right, so this will be good. We can actually look at the papers now. Is there anyone up there? No. So round about 11 o'clock every night, the papers come out. All right. And back in, let's put this camera back on. Hold on. Back in the day of the pandemic, I was in medical prison. Okay, and could not go out, and I did silly live streams. I did them at 5 in the morning because I didn't sleep, and I did them at night time. And the ones at night time were just fun things, and the ones in the morning followed a similar format of me making coffee, having porridge, looking out the window to tell the weather, and then going through the papers talking about the pandemic and stuff. And I used to get heavily triggered and started to swear loads and loads and loads. Now that's on a completely different YouTube channel. And if anybody's interested in going back and looking at like probably about 200 live streams of me in my infancy of learning to use, I did it all on my laptop as well. It was pretty shocking. And now I've got this great big setup. But if you want to see that, you can send me a wee message on Discord. Anybody on Discord, I'm quite happy to let you go and have a wee look at them. But doing the papers is actually quite a good way to have a wee look of what's going on. It's just the front pages of them all. And it's quite good fun to check them out. So this is the eye. The eye is right. Royal Mail's parcel mountain revealed with warning on Is this to do with the postal strikes and things? Royal Mail's privatised though, isn't it? It's another for profit now, which is a wee shame. You know. I remember when the post office and Royal Mail were basically owned by the government, owned by the people. You know, it's a shame. People might not get their presents. Guardian, NHS union chiefs meet to plan a joint Christmas strike. Now, there's something going on up here in Scotland about that, how the votes kind of changed. There's a friend of mine that's, whose wife is a nurse. I'm going to ask him that tomorrow, and on tomorrow's stream, we'll have a wee look at exactly what he was talking about, because there's something weird going on up here with that. Your last chat message didn't send, Scott. It might have been... Maybe there's a word that you used in it that I've put in the bot that stops you from sending those things. Did you get a message saying, please don't use that sort of language? Oh, you were testing Nippy. Right, Nippy came up though, so it's not worked. So I need to go and play with that bot a little bit more. Anyway, back to papers. Daily Mail. What is this? Netflix trailer, allies of William and Kate say it's a declaration of war. I don't care. You know, I don't care. See, this is the thing with the papers, right? When you look at the papers, and the papers are all on the screen in front of you, you're looking collectively at the headlines of them all. They're all bullshit. They really are. It does my head in. What do people see as news these days? Bonkers COVID plan to release prisoners. Why is that front page news? I'm surprised that the Daily Mail have not got something about Blackford resigning on there. You know, it's kind of crazy. Royal crisis deepens. Yeah, now this is newsworthy. Palace racism storm. It was like the late Queen's, one of the late Queen's ladies in waiting, ladies something or other, turned round and moved the hair away from a lady of colour. I'm allowed to say that. I don't know what the politically correct name is for somebody that's black, basically. Am I allowed to say black? I don't know. What is the right word to use? A lady of colour. Is that acceptable? I hope so, right? So this lady in waiting, former lady of waiting, okay, pulled the hair away from this lady to say, who are you? Okay, where are you from? No, from Britain. No, where are you from? I'm from the UK. No, where are you really from? You know, how offensive is that to say to somebody who's not? It's, I don't know. I think it's shocking, to be perfectly honest. Shocking. but that's just me. Some people might disagree with me about that. Let's get the papers back up. But no, it's that's the only thing that that's in the papers so far that grabs me, is like, I've got a problem with racism and bigotry, though, massive. That is a nice picture, I have to say, of Prince William and his wife. I can't even remember her name, but his beard looks well groomed there. I try to groom mine like that, with that nice cut sometimes. My wife likes it cut in like that, so I do my best. I think he's stolen my style, though, personally. Okay, the sun. Kiss means war. See, there it is again, that nice picture. Don't care. That's four. Is that four? Is that him again there? No, it's not, is it? Yeah, Harry and me. Why? It's just like the royal family, again, over and over again. Black woman is correct. Thank you, Ryan. Thank you. That's the right thing to say. I don't know. I'm rubbish. Papers are rubbish. That's like 5 papers now. With like, and it's the Star as well. The Star usually has something imaginative and ridiculously silly. James Hewitt's son. Yes. Thank you. I actually think that too. He's the spitting image of him, isn't he? I don't watch the royal family TV show thing. Is it on Netflix or wherever it is? But I'm interested to see how they're going to portray that relationship. I might just watch those episodes. It'd be quite funny, because I truly believe that that there was a little bit more going on there than meets the eye, to be perfectly honest. Boom. Right. Daily Express. Oh, God almighty. Let's just move past it. Blackstone caps outflows. No, and financial. And that's it. Boring. Papers were boring. Boring. Okay. What time is it? Hey, that's not too bad. Without doing James's video, we still have 5 minutes left. Bleh. Let's just let me bring up my monitor of the stream. Excellent. Right. Let me say just now, okay, that teething problems aside, this has been fun. I am going to take away the blur effect at the bottom and the sides. I don't need to do that. If I'm late at night, the kids are usually asleep. I usually put that up if the kids were hanging out on the sofa and things, but I've got the chat box there to block up that part. But teething problems aside, and my lack of professionalism in putting things together here, I think this was okay. I think that I can stretch out a little bit more. I can do the things that I want to do on this here. And you know something, I can even play music if I want to as well, because if I had to go, is it got to be on that camera? There's music. Like, watch this. See, we can go. Wow. A little bit of oriental music, or we could do this one. A little bit of funky jazz. That sounded a bit dodgy to begin with, though, didn't it? It sounded like a bit, oh. What are you listening to, Mo? Honestly. So, yeah, I might just throw up some background music from time to time, like some of those young streamers do and stuff. I don't know, maybe not. But there's more flexibility here if I follow YouTube's rules for copyright and stuff. It's just getting the audience that we had before coming across from TikTok to across to here. So I'm really happy that you guys came across. I really appreciate it. And I wanted to talk to you. The last thing I wanted to talk... Good night, Kareem. The last thing that I wanted to talk about was doing an event on Discord. Okay? I want to do watch that film, that one that we talked about, the London's Calling, the BBC bias during the 2014 referendum. I want to do that as a group watchy thing, and I want to do it possibly in 2 weeks' time. Can't do it this weekend. I want to do it on maybe a Saturday or a Friday night. Right, you guys decide. I'll put it up, a couple of dates. I'll stick it up on the Discord, and I'll spam it here as well on the lives and on TikTok too. TikTok. Anyway, I'll spam it up there, and if I'm quite happy for 2 or 3 of us just to watch it, stick that up every couple of months to watch, because it's a really good documentary. I think it's about an hour and 20 minutes long, so it would be like, get your popcorn, get some juice, go into Discord, get your headphones on, and we can sit and we can chat about it afterwards as well. And we can actually do like audio chat there as a group in the voice chat sort of box. I can come onto camera. If you guys have cameras, you're welcome to come on with cameras as well. And it's completely enclosed. It's only the people in Discord that can see it. It is not like a live stream out to the public. It's very, very important for it all. What's so calming, Beth? Are you having a hot chocolate just now? Yes. This is the first time you visited me, Blue. I usually did TikTok lives Monday, Tuesday, Thursdays and Fridays. And I'm intending on doing the lives here on YouTube on the same days. The reason I don't do a Wednesday is it's either my day off and I go out with my wife during the day, or I excuse me, or my kids have just come back. My 3 older kids come back from their mums on a Wednesday, so we usually do something. It also gives me the opportunity to go and jump into Kathleen or James's or Craig's lives to go and join in the discussion there. I don't do Saturdays or Sundays because that's usually kids' time, or I'm working if the kids aren't here. And again, it gives me the opportunity and flexibility to move into other people's lives as well, and to look at like the past week and content, pertinent content for the streams during the week. I'm also open to suggestions if anybody wants me to cover anything, but I'll only take suggestions inside Discord. I won't take suggestions outside of Discord. Now, there was somebody that sent me a message today on what's it called, on Twitter, about needing a wee bit of help. So I'm going to, after tonight's show, I'm going to go and check my messages on Twitter, and I only give out invitations really on Twitter unless I know the people, and then I'll send them a little link. But it's kind of tough to do that on TikTok, because if I send a link on TikTok, I don't think that actually it's clickable. So there you go. What was the music I was playing? Hold on. It's just like, hold on, I'll put the first one on. I can't hear that, hold on. Right, so that music you can hear there is just like a mix of Oriental music that I found quite relaxing. And the other one is more sort of jazzy. Yeah. So I used to have these sort of background musics on when I did my lives before. So they're sitting there on 3 or 4 different music mixers. I can just do the slides up and down. Yeah, I'm open to DMs on Twitter, Blue. I'm really is there a bit of a delay from when you guys do a comment to me replying to it? Because I know from when I'm speaking just now, when I go like this, I'm going to wave and speak just now. See my hands waving and things like this. My hands going down. It takes... I'm watching this just now on my... what's it called? My iPad here. You'll see my hands waving. And that's how long it takes from when I'm waving to when it's broadcasted on YouTube. There you go. All right. So it's about 30 seconds to a minute, a few seconds delay. Okay. That's better than I thought it was, which is great. So yeah, so we're kind of like, I'm talking shit now. I'm because I like talking to you and appreciate your time. Yeah, it's definitely not as dynamic and as fast as TikTok is, John. It's definitely a bit of a delay. I think that's because YouTube compresses the feed and then pumps it out that way. But it's okay. The music, yeah, it's very calming. It's the music that I play, that I was playing earlier on for the opening scene. This one, hold on a second, let me just bring it up. If I do this, I usually play this music with that. Hold on. Oh no, hang on, this one. It's quite cool. Anyway, on that holding screen, I always do a 5-minute countdown to bring people into the stream, allow people to come and watch it and get into position to watch it. So it sends messages to everybody. Okay, that's us for tonight. All right, we've actually got an outro as well. I'm gonna hopefully that I've not muted the sound on it like I had for the intro. But we shall wait and see what it sounds like. It's like about a minute long, this outro. It's not the one that had previously had the Flower of Scotland, but it does have it's a lot of footage from the Edinburgh March a few weeks ago, and a couple of other marches as well that happened last year. And right at the very end of it, somewhere in the crowd is actually me and my children. I think it's in the very last scene of it, which is quite funny. So yeah, that could be right, John, as well. I think it's deliberate to catch anything that YouTube doesn't like. Good night, Druss. Okay, you take care. And listen, good night, everybody else. I'll be back at 11 o'clock tomorrow night. I'm going to sit here and reset things to make sure everything's working properly for it all. And maybe do some other content. Okay. Yeah, cool. Thank you, Blue. Appreciate that. It's very amateurish, my stream. Definitely could do a wee bit better with the old transitions and stuff, but I used to be quite good at that, but then I got lazy on TikTok with it, so I just need to get that element of being a little bit more professional back, and then we'll be cool. Alright, anyway, let's do the ending, and I'll speak to you guys on TikTok, and I will speak to you guys tomorrow night at 11 as well. Have a good evening.